Hey guys, how is everyone doing? Shout out to everyone in the chat. We have our members here. We have Yaya Cat, Barbie, Unapologetically Goddess is here. Shout out to you. Let's see, and anybody else that shows up late, shout out to you as well. So, wanted to give people a couple of minutes to show up. Let me tell you guys why. Because over the weekend, we had a documentary. We had a couple things happen over the weekend with just things that were dropping, right? So the Janet Jackson malfunction, the undressing of Janet Jackson, excuse me, blah, can't even talk. Janet Jackson actually dropped, and I had the chance to watch it, and it totally brought me back to 2004, the Super Bowl, all this stuff with Janet Jackson at the time, and even what is it? The Justin Timberlake recent apology, right? And I say recent because he didn't actually formally give an apology till up until February of 2021. And it wasn't just to Janet Jackson, it was to Britney Spears. So it was a dual apology. So let me tell you guys what happened. As I was looking at Twitter too, because this was kind of trending over the weekend, this justice for Janet. Okay. Now, when I put the thumbnail up, guys, when I put all this information up, I realized that people felt some type of way about this. A lot of comments, even with the little snippet of a like video that I put up on the other upload, people were really disturbed by it. They felt like, and I have to give credit, okay? I have to make sure that I um, see that other side. A lot of people were saying, you are taking some of the lyrics, you're taking Justin out of context. You're not playing the whole thing. You're not doing X, Y, and Z. He's not capitalizing. He didn't do anything. Like, I mean, I just got so much he in defensive mode. And I said to those people, I'm willing to hear your side. I'm willing to hear your side. However, we got to look at the whole picture, right? So, and that's just how I am. I got to look at the whole picture. I can't just look at one side and be completely convinced that nothing's going on, right? And that's just my perspective, my thought, okay? So again, documentary dropped FX Hulu. If you don't have Hulu, you can do a little free trial. I think it's like a week. And it was again the malfunction, the undressing of Janet Jackson, okay? And it goes into the experience back in 2004, okay, where the wardrobe quote unquote malfunction happened, all right, where we got to see Janet Jackson's nipple for like 9 seconds, I think, of a clip, okay? And it was a huge thing back then and there. She lost a lot of deals, whereas what we saw was Justin didn't. Absolutely. Janet got more heat. Absolutely. She did, okay? She there were certain things. She lost a lot of deals, right? Like, it's one thing for her to have the Jackson name, okay? And yes, there's a lot of notoriety that comes with that. But Janet Jackson, in my opinion, has always tried to make a name for herself and her own identity. So it's never like Janet Jackson and the like, she's always tried to venture off and be bigger than that or be outside of that. Okay. So they really, in my opinion, when I saw that, and I watch that Super Bowl, and I don't watch Super Bowl for football, guys. I watch Super Bowl for the halftime show. I like the commercials. Those are the only two things that I like out of the Super Bowl. Everything else is crap. I'm just being honest. I don't know who watches the Super Bowl for for the actual game. If you do, good for you. I didn't. So I remember 2004. Who was it? It was Diddy that performed. It was Nelly that performed, and it was Kid Rock. Okay. And yeah, it was a pretty iconic performance. They opened up with Janet Jackson, and then they had all these in betweens. And then at the very end, at the closing, Janet closed the show with Justin. Okay. And they had a little dance number. This documentary, I think, give us a little bit more context as to what happened, whether it was a wardrobe malfunction, who decided on the nipple, because there was a nipple piercing that Janet was wearing, um, and who and what happened in between. Okay. Initially, Janet didn't respond right away. She didn't say anything. They just kind of left. Okay. Justin addressed it by joking around, making light of the situation. It took her, like, I think a couple of weeks for her to respond. And so when she responded, she apologized. And at that time, she said she was made to apologize. So it was an interesting, I think, way to see things. I didn't really realize that they had made her like her team wanted her to apologize. Yeah, it was kind of made out to be that the whole thing was planned out, okay? And that it was meant to be that way. Yeah, and I we all wait for the Loki, that's so right. We wait for the halftime show. We don't really care about the for me, I don't watch the game. I wait for the halftime show. I'm just being completely honest. So, why don't we start this live? Why don't we start this live by looking at Justin Timberlake's statement, okay? Because I think it's only fair as to what was posted, okay? So, let me see if I can zoom into this because I want to make sure everybody can see it. And he posted this in, I believe, February of this year. Okay. And he says, I've seen the messages, tags, comments, and concerns, and I want to respond. I am deeply sorry for the times in my life where my actions contributed to the problem, where I spoke out of turn or did not speak up for what was right. I understand that I felt short in these moments and in many others and benefited from a system that condones misogyny and racism. I especially, excuse me, I specifically want to apologize to Britney Spears and Janet Jackson, both individually because I care for and respect these women and I know I failed. I also feel compelled to respond in part because everyone involved deserves better and most importantly, because this is a larger conversation that I wholeheartedly want to be a part of and grow from. So, my question to you guys, a little too late? A little too what? And and let's be very clear. This apology is directed to two women. Two different women, okay? It's specifically for them, but two different women. That one of which was in a relationship with him, okay? And one that was not, that he considered a friend, right? So to me, I found that to be no, it should be two different apologies. That's just my opinion, my thought. Two different apologies. And there should be examples of when he's benefited from participating in that behavior. When did he benefit? When did he make money? Yeah, and what prompted him to write this so many years later when it should have been addressed such a long, 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 long time ago? That's my thought. Thank you. Why now? Is it because we're now in this culture or era where you can be canceled? People can stop buying your music? You can be turned off? You're not cute anymore? What is it? You're not a boy band anymore? Right. You're too old? What is it about? Why are you why now? Why not when it happened when it happened? Because I will say this, and I want to go back. I want to go back to several of those comments that were left that said, "Hey, don't you think, hey, this is out of context?" And I want to assume that these people, are fans, which is fine. We do have fans here that will visit our page. I'm going to show you guys another page. But there was another reporter that called him out on his stuff a couple years ago, okay? And before we get there, I'm going to show you guys a clip. And this is the full clip, not just half of it, it's the full clip of that song, Free Solo and Justin Timberlake, Role Model, okay? And a lot of people are calling me out in the comments and say, you need to show the whole thing. You can't just show half of it. I said, you know what? You are so right. Because they said I'm taking it out of context. Well, if it's in the lyrics, If it's in the lyrics, can it be taken out of context? If it's performed, can it be taken out of context? I don't think so. But let's go ahead and play it, and you guys be the judge of it. We did do some fixes on the audio, just so we don't get strike, and we're using everything in fair use. Here we go. To my rear there. You gotta pay attention to me like I said there. This shit got me in the top. Rear there. That only move. I thought like a maker. I went to show you shit away like a racer. And I never went so hard like a maker. But you know I love the sound so player. Baby, be standing here, this is you all. Maybe you should be more like me involved. I'm going hard like the opposite of south. That platform. Applause. Maybe you just mad because I am who you wanna be. Maybe I'm a canvas, what you wanna see. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm an asshole. Oops, said I took it too far. Super Bowl. I'm a still. All right. So I slowed it down. And the lyric goes something like this. And I have the lyrics here. See, it was in the song. Maybe you just mad because I am who I want to be. Maybe I'm a canvas you paint what you want to see. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm an asshole. Oops, did I take it too far? Super Bowl. Now, in the actual music video, you actually have Justin and Free Soul performing, right? And when they read this line, it's in verbatim. Oops, did I take it too far? Super Bowl. One of them, and I believe it's Justin, who opens his shirt in the music video and basically shows like his chest. And then it jumps into a clip where a woman is actually flashing everyone, and it's like a blur to the chest, guys. So it's not even about like, okay, is it out of context? No, it's in verbatim. It's in your lyrics. Help me understand what I took out of context if it's written in there. And I can show you guys the lyrics. No problem there. You can't take something out of context when it's written. So that's the piece that I said, well, maybe did I take it out of context? Nope, right there. And this song was released in 2011. Here you go. Right there. So I thought, okay, 2011, incident happened in 2004, years, okay, after the Super Bowl. So for the people that were commenting, oh, you need to play the whole song. That is the whole song. That's the whole clip. Okay, you mean to tell me that this incident right here was written into a song? Go see the music video and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So did Justin Timberlake and anybody else capitalize from this situation? Absolutely. It's in your damn song. What are you talking about? I don't take shit out of context when you wrote it in the lyrics. So thought that was interesting. I said, we got to show a little bit of this. Now I thought, all right, so that was in 2011. Let's play the devil's advocate, because we like to do that here. We like to see the other side, being understanding, being compassionate. Okay, I wanted to understand. Well, all right, as of recent, because see, Justin Timberlake had the 2004 Super Bowl. Then most recently, he did another Super Bowl. He was invited back. Okay, he was invited back to perform. Look, he's like, get your attorneys. I know, right? Get your attorneys. Absolutely. The man capitalized it. So let's not like pretend that he didn't. It continued to be in videos. Now, he was asked, and this is again in fair use, he was asked in an MTV interview, okay, about magazine articles that take things out of context, whatever he says. And then this interviewer asked him about the Super Bowl incident. And I want you to tell me what you think. And this was in 2014. So clearly, years after 2011, after he did the song, here we are, 2014. Here we go.
And, maybe if you look back at something you did, and you maybe wouldn't do it the same way today, but no point in sort of regretting it. You did say though recently that the Super Bowl incident was one of the bigger mistakes, I think was the word you used.
Super Bowl incident. You kind of have to have a sense of humor about all of this, because like you said, everybody takes this so seriously. Like,
well,
it's not that serious.
When you
the Middle East situation, that's serious.
That's serious. It's
scary
serious. Yeah. Was it the performance, or was it the aftermath of the Super Bowl that was the mistake?
I mean, I guess it was a little bit of both. I think, in my honest, opinion now, it was more the aftermath from me. And there could have been ways that I could have gone about it, handled it better.
What could you have done differently? I mean, you mean as far as when people said,
I think
he hung Janet out to dry?
That particularly, I mean, I don't take that. That's just people talking. Mm-hmm. And that's what they'll do. I don't take that to heart. But what I do take to heart in the bigger picture of it is I'm a part of a community. I'm a part of a community that consider themselves artists. And if there was something that I could have done in her defense that was more, that I could have realized, then I would have. Mm-hmm. But the other half of me thought to myself, wow, like we still haven't found the weapons of mass destruction. And everybody cares about this. And so I kind of had the same reaction, like I was just kind of like, I was sort of dumbfounded at how crucified the whole thing was.
I guess it's safe to say neither you or Janet anticipated the reaction that it got.
Well, the other thing is too, I mean, it's an understatement to say that it was sort of unfair if you consider it 50-50. I mean, I probably got 10% of the blame. And that, I think that says something about society. I think that America's harsher on women. And I think that America's, unfairly harsh on ethnic people. I mean, I at the time when it was happening, it was so crazy to me, like, that I didn't handle it the best way I could have.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Okay, so when I watched that at least 3 or 4 times to just kind of understand what he's saying. Okay. There are more important things out there. Weapons of mass destruction. I said, okay, answer the damn question. There are more important things out there, but everybody's focused on this. Answer the question. He doesn't. He does say, though, that out of the whole thing, he got maybe 10% of the blame, and everything was on her, and that America is harsher on people of ethnic. Boy, I felt like that was a lot of skating around over a bigger issue that we had. And it wasn't like ethnic, and then he said women. And so to me, I was like, yo, this is... But you are America, Justin. See, in 2011, there was a song in there, and the lyric is there. You are America. So you are just as harsher and deflecting from the actual issue at hand. Right? He's American. You are America. You are the American entertainment. You are the media. What did you do to correct the situation? Because you didn't do it in 2014. You sure as hell didn't do it in 2011. And you didn't do it in 2014. And now it's 2021. And we get an apology where you put two women that have two different things relationship-wise with him, right? One is not the other. One is not the other. but you have a fan base. He has a fan base that will come into the comments and say, you're taking the song out of context. No, you can't take something out of context when it's written in the lyrics. That's right. Now let's call the thing a thing, okay? Because I also was like, all right, he's been called out a couple times throughout the years, okay? I want to bring attention to an article that was written by, let me see if I can share this to you guys. Let's see. Here we go. The Daily Beast. Okay? Where a reporter, a journalist actually, by the name of, I think his name, excuse me, Ernest Owens. Okay? He shares, I'm going to share the tweet with you before I actually share the full article. But he shared, okay, that I asked Justin Timberlake 5 years ago on Twitter if he would apologize to Janet Jackson. He called me a sweet soul instead. For those saying he made a mistake, he made mistakes early 20 years ago, think again. He knew what he was doing. So, this is Ernest Owens, right? Says it himself. And in this article, he talks a little bit about the self-proclaimed president of pop knew he was wrong. He wronged Janet Jackson and Britney Spears long before the hashtag Free Britney movement. He just didn't care. And you know what? I would have to agree with that. I would have to agree with that. So the article basically jumps into, he got a lot of backlash from the Britney Spears doc. Of course, it takes a Britney Spears documentary for a man to kind of, oh man, this is bad. PR, PR, PR. He does his little Twitter response, okay? Says he's deeply sorry. See who believes it, whatever, whatever, okay? And so for anyone who hasn't followed Timberlake's antics over the years, this would seem like a mature course of action. Timberlake was a young, white, privileged man thriving in the music industry, steeped into racism and sexism, and was in 2002 when he taunted Spears on the Crimea River music video. We saw that. The girl that they hired looked like Britney Spears. The tabloids were set ablaze around that time. They were accusing her of cheating. Okay? The girl was going through whatever. She had a mental breakdown a couple years afterwards. He remarked on taking her virginity. This was all playing out on national media. And he was also busy throwing black female artists such as Miss Jackson under the bus. So the whole Nipplegate was born in 2004, where she faced blackballing, excessive criticism, while Timberlake was innocent. He was able to do his McDonald's stuff. He was able to do his own thing. He was able to get on with his life, guys. He was able to do what he did as a man, a white man with privilege. To make matters worse, a week after the incident, he would attend the Grammys, except as the best male solo performer for Crimea River, as the protesters were outside the ceremony of the Grammys, banning Jackson from attend. So she couldn't attend the Grammys, guys. She was banned. She couldn't. There were so many things that she couldn't do. There was so much backlash and deals that she lost over this Nipplegate situation. So from there on out, they noticed some problematic behavior of his, right? He was confronted, okay? And this is where Mr. Ernest Owens confronts him about his history of cultural appropriation and disrespect of Jackson on Twitter nearly 5 years ago. He didn't take it very well. So he's been confronted about how much he's actually earned from being accepted in the culture, what he's done in the culture. Has he provided in the culture? Has he taken? Because there was no mercy for someone like Janet Jackson, who not only is a woman, right, as a minority, as an artist, coming up with all these talented brothers that she has, and it didn't get easier for her, right? She had no flack. She was seen as the sexualized object. I felt just horrible knowing and seeing that, especially when it was relived in the documentary. And all that she had to come from while this man continued on with his career, his hits. He also partnered up with T.I., Pharrell, all these other bigger artists. He continued on and did his thing. Jay-Z, all of them. So when I think about, well, am I being too harsh? Nah, I don't think so. I think his apology is bullshit. To be quite honest, you mentioned two different women that he's had two different encounters with. He might have victimized both of them. I'm not really sure the ins and outs of the other relationship, but he definitely capitalized and made money off of Janet Jackson and her situation and didn't do a whole lot to figure out how to make amends or how to fix it with his privilege. And a lot of people will say, well, what was he supposed to do? Well, he didn't do anything. He didn't do anything to fix it. Sometimes when you have privilege, you have to use that for a good. You don't just take. So, yeah. Misogyny into the focus of the present day Me Tooers or okay, yeah, right? So, what do you guys think about this? I mean, it is a little bit of a thought-provoking conversation. He just didn't give a damn. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. I think I'm being pretty nice, Nina, for the most part. But you know what? When I realized, especially that music, that clip, okay, and I found it on Twitter. I believe the guy who put it out there, he took the clip out. I believe his name is Omar. I can't remember his last name, but he's got a Twitter account, and we uploaded it on our last one, okay? And the thing is that when that happened, I remember, I was looking at it. I said, okay, let me look at the bigger picture. And I'm looking at the lyrics. I said, well, was that lyric? Did it really need to be there? I don't think so. It didn't need to be there. It didn't need to be there. And and Stacey, you bring up an interesting point. Even after the music video came out, all that other stuff, there's a lot of people, African Americans, that also didn't necessarily stand up for Janet. See, nobody stood up for her as well. Like, who stood up for Janet Jackson when all this was going on? Outside of her family, I didn't see anybody else. And there should have been more people. There should have been more people outraged by the situation. Everybody was feeding into the music, what he was doing. Yeah, I would have to agree. So, I don't know. I don't know. It's a lot. I know it's a lot to kind of consume. If you have not watched the documentary, go watch it. I mean, it's an interesting way to kind of look into it and see, okay, like, what part did I play based? Did I listen to the music? Do I listen to Justin's music? Where am I at? Am I supporting this? Why didn't he come before? And you do your own timeline. All of this stuff right now with Justin Timberlake, it's available. It's all out there. Draw yourself a timeline of the many times where you have felt that he was actually apologetic, or that he actually address the issue with tact without having to mention weapons of mass destruction to minimize a woman's pain. No one stood up for Janice. Yeah, nobody stood up for Janet at all. Outside of her family, I didn't see any other artists. Other artists didn't stand up for her. She was the butt of the joke for so many years. And around that time, I mean, she was, I believe, Demita Joe had just been released or was going to be released around that time. So she was big. She lost her deals with Disney. She had a lot of stuff under her belt and was working her way up. At the time, I believe she was 37 when all of this went down too. Yeah. I don't know, guys. It's a lot and it does stir up some conversation, but just think about it. Think about, go do a little timeline, just go check, and you'll see that now that this Me Too movement, this cancellation culture is up and bubbling, that's when he wants to apologize. This year, years after the incident happened, why now? And not only that, you put two women that have nothing to do with each other, Britney Spears and Janet Jackson, into the same paragraph. But what are you going to do to repair that situation? Yeah. So you guys go check out the Malfunction, the undressing of Janet Jackson. It's on FX with Hulu. Okay. There's a free trial that you guys can try, so you don't have to purchase it. I think it's like a week. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. I wanted to bring you guys some this just thought-provoking content. Wanted to answer those people that left. I'm glad that I left a little preview up there, because if somebody says you're taking this out of context, no, you can't take something out of context that's written in the text, written in the lyrics. You can't do that. How do you do that? Am I misinterpreting what? It's a pretty clear lyric, guys. Oops, did I take it too far? Question mark. Super Bowl. What other incident are you talking about? Another Super Bowl? Did I take it too far? Super Bowl? So are you admitting that you took it too far? See, I have a problem, guys. That's just my thought. Wanted to know what you guys' thoughts are about the situation. And if I'm off, if I'm completely off, feel free to leave it in the comments. I always welcome a difference of opinion. All the time. Always. See, I didn't even know about that bromance thing. I'm not surprised though. I'm not surprised. Not surprised at all. Right? Right? I just think we're going to be seeing him call out on his stuff a lot more now. You know? And maybe, I don't know. It's sad that it takes a situation like this for something to happen. Just a thought. Check out the doc. Do your own little timeline. Check it out and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. It is what it is. So, wanted to bring that to you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. Thanksgiving. Working on some other stuff currently. I'm not going to say a whole lot. Other than that, I like to leave a little hints here and there that we're working on something. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great night. Do your cooking. Stay safe. Don't drink too much. Do what you got to do. Enjoy your evening, guys. I'm very thankful for you guys, for this channel, for our members. Thank you so much for your support. And thank you for everything else that you guys have done for us in this channel. Number one, we're always humble. So thank you all the time. Rabbits out.